Hi everyone, welcome back. So this is my day 3 in Japan. If you're liking this so far, remember to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel. And if you haven't seen my other Japan videos already, I would suggest for you to see it because it just gives you a glimpse into the things I've already done in Japan and gives you an idea of what you can do in Japan if you're planning a trip there. So last time we left off with having Kobe beef at Red Rock. That was just a really small snippet into the next day, today, or day 3 of Japan. So right now we're in Kobe and we are finally going to have Kobe steak. So we went to Steakland. My friend Kate she did a lot of research and stuff for Japan. So props to her for a lot of places that we went to. But just having this meat in your mouth, it's so different from any other. And I'm not saying this because I'm like, you know, trying to hype it up or anything. It really is just that good. It's so buttery, it's so smooth, it's so delicate. I know I'm like sounding really weird, but you really appreciate the cow that died, and you know, all the things it went through and stuff for it to be on your plate served like this. So it definitely was so worth it. In Japan, they cook it with like this onion. There's so much more flavor to it. I just really loved having this meal. It was not even just like I was eating, it was just an experience of it in it all. So here's a snippet of me eating it, and hopefully you guys are jealous because I mean, looking back at this, I'm jealous that even I got to taste it. Kobe is a pretty small city, so there's not too much to do there. But after Steakland, we went to this coffee shop, and it was really interesting because this coffee shop, already looking on the outside, it looks very westernized. And if you look at Japan's history and just a lot of their fashion and stuff like that, they have a lot of Western style concepts when it comes to their buildings, their clothes that they wear and stuff like that. So just being in this coffee shop reminded me of what, you know, it would have been if I lived in Japan during the 1950s. And then also to have they're not maids, but Japan is really into like dressing up and like having maids or like waitresses serve you, because I feel like in America you kind of have to go to like a maid cafe, or you kind of have to go out of your way to go to one. But in Japan, like, it's not necessarily like they're already there, but there's just a lot more of this kind of style, because I guess that's what they're into. And it's not in a way like, when I first thought about it, I thought it was kind of like dehumanizing having someone dress up like that and whatever, but it's more of like, it's just, you know, something you read in their mangas. It's something that people fantasize about. When I say that, it can go a little, you know, more like rated R, but for them it's more of like, you know, being served in that way, and it's more of just like an experience, and it's just something they read in a manga, so they bring it to real life. And that's what I really like about Japan. There's a lot of things that you see in their storybooks and you see in their manga and their anime, and then they have like a park for it, or they speaking about rated R, or they have like a day for it, or they had like go-karts on the street one day, or they had this like whole Pokemon, like, you know, festival. In Japan, like, there's a lot of things you see on paper that happens in real life as well, because there's so many people who are like passionate and excited about it. My food was pretty good. I would say it was like, you know, pretty mediocre pastry and stuff, but I enjoyed it. So we're at Nishimura's Coffee. I got a fruit tart with T-A-U-L-A-I-T. And then Kate got the Vienna coffee, and I don't know what that is, but it's apple cake. Oh. Yeah, this is just milk tea.
Black tea?
Yeah.
Do you want to try? Right?
It's really good.
The sound.
It's good.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went into kind of like this little village where it had more of the buildings and the or like, yeah, the houses. I didn't go in because I wasn't really interested to seeing what was inside there. But being able to walk around the area was really nice as well. Felt like, if I could describe it, it felt kind of like maybe like if like so I went to New Paltz for college. It kind of felt like a little town there where you like go up and down the hills and there's like some shopping areas and it's really like knickknacks and stuff. There wasn't really too much to do in Kobe. So after that we decided to get all of our stuff, move out of our Airbnb, and then head over to Osaka. So the train from Kobe to Osaka wasn't that long. I would say it's like an hour and a half ish. And then in Osaka, what we did first was head over to our hotel. Yeah. That window doesn't actually open. This hotel was interesting because it has like an onsen, and I really wanted this because I really wanted to hit up like a hot spring. So in America, we don't really have this as an option too much in like our spas and stuff. I feel like our spas are very much like you get a massage or you get this kind of treatment or whatever. But in Korea, there's a lot of like jjimjibangs, and there's a lot of like saunas and stuff like that that's easily accessible. So for me, it felt like a privilege to be able to, have this. Honestly, I could only last about like 15 minutes, 20 if I'm pushing it. Other than that, I like passed out because it's just too hot. But I liked it because I felt like, I was like so calm. There were grandmas who were like in there for like 30 minutes and they felt so chill and calm. But for me, I was kind of like, okay, it's getting really hot. Like I need to get out. But I just love having that experience and then like being in there and then being able to like just chill. Because, I really wanted Japan to not only be like a trip where I got to see all these things, but also a relaxing trip where I'm not like going from one thing into another and not being able to fully take everything in. And then we also went around Osaka or like our area, went shopping more in like the Dotonburi region. If you're interested in seeing that haul, I'll link it in the cards and down below again. I think that night we went to we were in that Dotonburi region, and I mean like this region like really like stretches out and it's like huge, it's massive. And we went to this one spot that had okonomiyaki and yakisoba, and they cooked it in front of you and like placed it in front of you. But being in Japan and being able to see like it like getting played out, like that was the first time for me. So even though I know I have it here, like that was the first time for me to see it. If you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and then also to subscribe to my channel to see what happens day 4.